Yeah, baby.
This Ford pickup is taking one tough pounding in these scenes from the movie Mr. Majestic. This Ford is a used 68 pickup, and it wasn't modified to take this terrific beating. Now, these exciting movie stunts have no bearing on normal usage, and this doesn't prove how long our 76 will last. But if you want a tough-built pickup, that's Ford. 93 out of 100 of all Ford trucks built since 63 are still on the job. Get the one that's built Ford tough.
Hey everybody, hey Jim. This is my not-so-beautiful 1999 Ford F-250 four-wheel drive truck. It's pretty old-fashioned. It's got a giant V10 engine, and we're going to do a little off-roading today. Ooh. Road's kind of rough. Well, once again, we're up in the mountains of Southern California, the San Bernardino Mountains to be specific. And we're on a road. Oh, I think this road is 2N57 or 3N57. I'll have to look, make sure. But it's a little bit rough. But this truck will go anywhere pretty much. I see a few little ruts here and there. Not too terrible so far. I'm seeing a little bit of snow here and there also. Yeah, it's getting a little steep here. But so far so good. Oh, we're slipping a little there. I have to put in four-wheel drive. Right now I'm still in two-wheel drive, but it's getting pretty slick right here in this little climb. I think we're gonna make it though. Yeah. One thing for sure about this Ford truck, it's big. I mean, look at this thing. I have to step up on a ladder in order to check the oil. That's a fake wrap on the hood to make it look like it's rusted and nasty. And the rest of this stuff, it's like floor wax. So I'll have to clean it all off one of these days. It does have a winch on the front and the rear. The front one is a hydraulic power takeoff winch that works off of the power steering pump, and the rear is an electric. The idea is if you drop the front end into like deep water or something, and you have to shut off the engine, you'll still have an electric one on the back to recover yourself with. The engine needs to be running for this one to function. This one is a 12,000 pounder, which is a little underrated for this size of a vehicle, but it gets the job done. I've used it quite a few times. The one on the back here is, I believe, an 8,000 pounder. So it's more of a, just to help yourself. You wouldn't really be able to move the truck all that much if it was something pretty severe. Anyway, we're up here in a beautiful area, and there's a lake way down there. And we're going to go down to that lake. I'm doing a little mileage experiment today. When I left home, I filled it up and reset the trip computer. The trip odometer. There's no trip computer. And I set it back to 0, so when we get done today, I'll fill it up again, and we'll figure out exactly what kind of miles per gallon we're getting with this thing, driving at a combination of off-road and on the highway. So I've already gone about 111 miles so far today, and probably going to do about another 100 more. But it's going to be a lot more of this kind of thing. And I don't think it gets its best fuel economy doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not going to get its best fuel economy up here, but it should be interesting. Hopefully we'll make it into double digits at least, but I have had this truck get as low as like 6 miles to the gallon on a tank at one point, but that was pulling that big heavy trailer and climbing a steep grade and all of that. So hopefully we'll still be around 9 or 10, but remains to be seen. I could air the tires down. I have an onboard compressor to pump them back up fairly quickly. And if I aired them down significantly, it would certainly smooth out the ride a lot, and it would give the truck a whole bunch more traction and flotation and lots of other benefits. But it's still kind of a pain to blow them back up, so I'm probably not going to do that today. Oh, it's a little snowy and muddy here. Yeah. It's a little muddier back here than I was expecting, but that's fun. I like it when it gets muddy, so hopefully we'll see a little more. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, it's a little icy on these muddy patches, so gotta be a little bit cautious. Don't want to slide off sideways. I do have snow chains on board, but we shouldn't need anything like that unless we go clear up to Big Bear. Oh boy, look at this. Big tree fall here. Huh. Wonder if we can squeeze through there. Okay, we've got a big old oak tree that looks like it fell down from up there, and it looks like I can probably squeeze through here. Well, that was kind of exciting. You never know what you're going to find up here. The roads are not maintained by the county. It's just sort of maintained by other off-roaders. So it looked like someone had already taken a chainsaw and cut the main section that may have blocked the trail when that tree initially fell down. And that was nice of them, because we were able to fit through in this big old beast. Huh. Water crossing. Oh boy. Oi! Something else that this truck does not have is traction control. And we already know I'm 12. You can tell I'm really hypermiling, going for the best MPG possible. Nope. When do I ever do that? Okay. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to put it in four-wheel drive. Ooh. All right. Come on, baby. Oh, that looks like a pretty deep hole. Not too bad. Okay. Made it. Kind of deep gullies. Ooh. Oh man, my neck is getting sore. Whipping my head around. It's getting real narrow in here. Oof. Oof. Well, a little bit of fresh desert pinstriping. Never hurt anybody. This would not be a good road to take a new Ferrari. Yeah, it would. Ooh. Ouch. Ooh. Somebody needs to come in here and trim these bushes back. Ooh. There we go. It's getting a little bit more room here. Yeah, we made it down to Silverwood Lake. Ooh. That's going to be noisy in the microphone. It's windy. All right, I just noticed something a little disturbing, and I was planning on going all the way deep up into the desert today, and I think I'm just going to drive down off the mountain here and go on home on the highway instead of going way out in the desert, because looks like one of my front hubs is starting to fall off. Let me show you. I was just coming down here because I kept hearing some noises I'm not familiar with, and I've had this truck since the day it was new, so I know it pretty well. This is not the stock hub. This is a worn hub, but look. Okay, now it's not moving, but it's slipped out a little bit, and it looks like there's a broken bolt or a broken screw, and that one's completely missing. So it seems to be working okay. I'm hearing some funny little sounds, but that shouldn't be there, that gap. This should be up tight against this. So I think that's going to be it for us today, just to be on the safe side. Speaking of being on the safe side, you know, going out four-wheeling like this by yourself, really not a very good idea. Probably shouldn't do it. I'm doing it today because I know these roads. I've been on all of them many times before, so I know where they all start and I know where they all end up. It's not like I'm exploring or blazing a new trail. And also, I know my vehicle. I have a jack. I have tire repair stuff with me. I told you before, I have a high output compressor. I have a spare. I have a bunch of extra water. And the most important part about this being relatively safe for me to do this by myself, even though this is an old worn out truck, is this whole trail has cell phone coverage the whole way. So it's not as remote as it may look. And I looked, and it's actually 2N37 is the designation of the trail. So I'm going to continue on past the lake here, and then going to have to hit pavement. Damn. I know I'm missing a lug nut also. This had a locking lug nut on every wheel. I think they're 8 lug wheels, and somewhere along the way, the key to the locking lug nuts got misplaced. So I think it was at a tire shop. They just didn't put it back in the glove box where it used to live. So I had to remove all those in a rather rough way, and I got rid of them, and I haven't gotten around to getting new lug nuts to replace them. I figure, well, there are 7 other ones on there. I am wearing a roadkill hat, so can't expect everything to be perfect around here, can you? Well, we're going to do some work on this truck soon, because it really needs some love. The door locks don't work anymore. The actuators are just buzzing and not really doing their job. It needs some help. The rear end is kind of leaking, and I want to do a transmission service, and it just needs some maintenance. So I'm gonna have to do that pretty soon. And I still want to build a fabric camper shell for the back. And I know I said I was going to do that before the zip tie drags, but then we ended up going there with that beautiful motorhome of Mr. Mark Woods's. So I didn't end up having to get this thing done before then. But I'm going to have to do it pretty soon. I just got to get that damn Z4 painted. I'm going to do that. I'm going to paint the Z4 in the next day or two. How many times have I said that? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, this is going to be it for us for the rest of the way home. We're taking the 138, and I'm going to have to skip the rest of the dirt roads for today. Kind of pretty out here. The Joshua trees go on and on and on. Well, now we're going to get to find out just how many miles per gallon we got today. I went 214.6 miles. I'm about to fill it up. There it is, 19.681 gallons. So that means that the truck got about 10.9 miles per gallon today. Not its worst day by far. It's not a Prius. Gosh. I think I kind of want one of those cyber trucks. Yeah, I need a Tesla pickup truck. Thanks for watching.
This tough truck demonstration. We're dropping the 78 Ford pickup in a free fall. To prove a point, Ford pickups are built tough. Let's see that again. Some terrific pounding, huh? It's nice to know a Ford took a free fall like this without damage. And good to know you've got strong twin I-beam suspension up front when you hit bumps like these. Ford, built down to earth, tough. 93 out of 100 of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years are still on the job.